Alrighty guys, so here we are for the performance part 2 of the review. Yes, this is a two-parter. Unfortunately, this machine has so many features and options that we're gonna have to break it up. So, not the best lighting. I'm in my garage for right now. My neighbor's rocking out loud music, and I've been dealing with terrible wind the last couple days, so bear with the lighting. This camera should do okay with this lighting. So one thing I didn't show you on the last video, along with a couple of the buttons that we're going to go over here in part 2, is the headphone jack. So it takes a 1/4 inch headphone connection, and it has this cool little dust shield that clicks open and clicks shut like that. So pretty cool. When you don't have headphones in and you're using the speaker, you can snap that shut and keep the dirt and debris out of there. So pretty neat. So let's get on to some air testing. We have our awesome 99-cent Lowe's yardstick, meter stick, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's a yardstick. It's 36 inches on the dot. So, all right, we have all of our normal stuff here. Clad coins here, copper penny. We're going to go over Monty's nail board test. We have a 10K women's gold ring, the little BB again, and silver mercury dime, and a silver Washington. So let's see what sort of air tests this thing gets, and then we'll take it outside and see what sort of performance we get with it outdoors. All right, let's get to it. All right, guys, we're gonna quickly run through it. I just reset it to default. It is in coin mode, cranked it up to 10, and let's see what we get. We'll start off with the dime. Alright, so good at 9. I'm right there at 9. I'll call it 8.5 actually. So 8.5 on the dime. Let's go to the zinc. Notice the tone difference on the zinc. Medium tone. Or low tone, I'm sorry, low tone. So the zinc is going to 9. It's 9.5. So we'll say about 9.5. Starts to cut off at 10. But yeah, yeah, we'll say 9.5 on the zinc. Copper. Appears to be about the same, 9.5. A nickel. And we're looking at about 8, and it cuts off at 8.5, so about 8 on the nickel. And a clad quarter. Much further. We're at 11 there. So definitely at 11. We'll go 10.5, 11 on that. I always like to reduce about a 1/2 inch from where it starts to cut off. So say 10.5 on that. Not bad. Air test for a $280 detector. And here is a silver dime. I have it in the wrapper because I'm getting ready to go put it in the ground for the next part. Silver dime, 9.5, 9. So we'll say 9 on that. And a silver quarter. Same thing, so about 11, 10.5, 11. And then let's see the gold ring. We are in coin mode, so let's try the gold ring anyways and see what happens. 10 karat ladies ring, nothing. So that is dissed out, notched out in coin mode. Something to note there. Alright, and the BB's not going to show up either. Alright, let's try this white tungsten band. So that does show up. Alright. Alright, let's bump it over to jewelry mode real quick and try that gold ring. So here we are in J jewelry. I'm not going to go over the coins because, you know, you're in jewelry mode. So let's try a tungsten ring. Clear out to about 12 inches on that. So it's a pretty large tungsten ring. I want to say it's a 8mm wide, something like that. So I shouldn't put it back on, should I? So put it way over there. And here is a 10 karat, like a little, maybe 3mm or so, 2mm 10 karat gold band. Inches. Definitely 10 inches. 10 and a half? Nope. So we'll say 10 inches, 9 and a half, 10 inches on a gold ring. Pretty small one. So not too bad. That's pretty decent depth for one of the preset modes. So let's go ahead and bump it over to mode 2. And this is going to be a VCO mode here. Let me sensitivity is at 10, disc is at 0, V-brake and notch is 0, V-brake's at 19. Alright, well, from that, sensitivity 10. Let's start big this time. Let's start with the silver quarter. We were at 11 and a half, or 10 and a half, 11 I want to say. Let's see. So we're getting about the same there, about 11, 10 and a half. Alright, clad quarter. Hitting that at 11. Alright, so about the same on the quarter. Let's try the dime, silver dime. About 10 inches. Alright, and we'll go with the clad dime. About 9 and a half, 10 inches. About the same. Alright, maybe a little bit more. Let's go 10 right up. It's kind of hard to, you know, this is a rough estimate with my swings. I'm sure they're a quarter inch, half inch off each way. So take this with a grain of salt, guys, just an air test. So about 10 inches on the dimes. Alright, let's try the ring here. We are in mode 2 again. Gold ring. Ten inches. 10 and a half is iffy. So 10 inches. And the big ring, the tungsten, 12 inches on that. But, you know, you're not really searching for tungsten rings. They're pretty cheap. I just got this as a wedding ring because I beat up gold wedding rings. And so, you know, it's a semblance of the ring, right? Not the material. So got that so I don't beat it up so much. So there we go. Anyways, enough babbling about the rings. That is the air test. You know, I just want you guys to get a quick feel for that. Let's bump it into all metal. And hopefully it's not too chattery here. Alright, so there we are in all metal. A little bit of chatter. Nothing too bad. We'll roll with that. So let's see what this silver quarter's at now. See if we'll pull it at a foot. Definitely. Would you dig that? Probably not. Would you dig that? Yeah. You know, especially with the number that is probably given off there. So way out here we're at 13, 14. We're pretty far. I mean, Right. Let's take the chatter away all the way. Hold on, we want to make this fair. There we go. At 9. Now it's at 9. Chatter's gone. So we want to be fair. I don't want anybody mistaking chatter for a swing. So here we go. 12 inches. Silver quarter at 12. Sensitivity 9. 13. Still hear it, barely. Alright, so we're going to say 13 is the absolute whisper. 12, you can definitely hear it. So definitely, and you know, it's not ground balance, so it will stop chattering. Let's bump it back up to 10. So it will stop chattering if I ground balance it outside. You know, I can't ground balance it right now with any air or anything like that in my garage. So, you know, take these air tests with a grain of salt. Just trying to do this real quick so that you guys can get a feel for it. Let's try this ring with a little bit of chatter. I mean, you can definitely hear that that's not chatter. So we're at 14, 15, 16, and it's pretty much gone there. So 15 inches there. You can hear that tungsten ring. Let's try the gold ring. 12, 13. So I would say about 13 is a whisper. And, you know, it's not my hand here, so see, it's nothing like that causing it. So a lot of people like nickels. Let's try nickel now, see if we get better depth with that. So we're clear out to 13, 14, 15, 14, maybe, definitely 13. So it's hitting into the 13 range on a nickel, and then on sensitivity 10, let's go to the silver again. 14. So 13, 14. I think you guys can tell that that's not chatter. Even though it is chattering, I think you can tell that those are swings. Okay? So that's it on the air test, guys. We're not going to get too deep on that or anything right now. I'm just going to do the 11 inch. I was thinking about breaking out the 8 inch, but I'm going to do that in a later video. I'm just going to review the detector, how it comes in the box, the way it is for this one. And let's shut that up. So, you know, I'll do the 8 inch here. Keep an eye out for that in a few days to a week, and we'll do some tests with that 8 inch coil and really run it through the paces. And I'm going to put all these numbers that we got here real quick up, and numbers that I've got gotten with it in the other modes and stuff. I'll kind of plaster them up here after I'm done talking, and you can write those down, take a screenshot, do whatever you want to do with those if you're looking into comparing it to other air tests on other videos or whatnot. I'm also going to leave a link down below to another video, a couple videos that I want you to check out. One from Carolina Coin Hunter and one from some French guys or something like that. So some overseas dudes that have a pretty cool dirt test bed that they run this some coins across it with, and it actually is pretty comparable to some machines twice its price. 3 times its price. So pretty impressive stuff. So definitely. Alright guys, enough babbling. That is the air test. Let's run over Monty's nail board test real quick, and then we will head out into the backyard, bury some coins at the popular 4, 6, and 8 markers, and see what we get there at those 3 depths. Alright. Alright, so here we are with Monty's nail board test. Now, here's the number, here's the penny on the ground. I don't have an India head penny like what he originally found his in. I guess these are real world type conditions, I guess, supposedly. I don't know the whole story, so don't mark my word on that. But anyways, you can print this test out, Monty's nail board test, M-O-N-T-E for Monty. So here's the penny. 63, 64. If you get too close, it really jumps around. Might be the concrete underneath or something, and it will overload. So that's what the overload. See the 2 bars? That's the overload alarm on this. It basically means you have something right there. So what you do, you lift the coil a little bit. And look at those numbers. Nice and steady. So 63, 64, 65. That's what we're looking for. Right in the middle 60s. Alright. So, and we have these 4 nails dissed out. So they are not showing up. Let's go ahead and move this penny to the number 1 position and see if we get any 60 hits here at all. And with most DD coils, you are not gonna get anything on this really. So I've seen the Deus XP fail this test with the stock coil and a couple different programs that it uses. So they really had to fine tune the heck out of it to get it to even show up. And I've seen even a Tesoro Vaquero with the new RSD coil was less than spectacular as far as this test goes. Now this one's not going to pass it at all, I'll tell you that much right now. I don't think anyways with this DD coil. So smaller coil, I did throw on the 4-inch on this, and from the Sharpshooter 2, now it's not a compatible coil, so it only reads to about 4 inches or so, and then just completely cuts off. Lost my train of thought there. It will pass the test with the 4-inch coil with flying colors. So I'm not expecting much with this 11-inch DD. So let's start with number 1. Nope. Nothing. Let's try number 2. Nope. Nothing there. Let's try 3. Nothing. And we'll try 4. And nothing. And we'll even try a different mode here. Let's go to mode 4. And then I'll even let's pump it up, past foil. And, right under aluminum just to make sure these are out. And we're still not getting anything on any of the hits. So, well, there's a couple on number 3 there. There was a 67, there's a 66. They lift the coil way up, we're getting aluminum. There's a 63. Yeah, so we're going to call just about every single way a no-go with this big 11-inch coil. I didn't think it would pass. So my son's Bounty Hunter Gold Digger passes this test with flying colors. My daughter's Bounty Hunter Junior, which I will have a review of that coming up as well, passes this as well. They have much smaller coils. One's a 7-inch and one's like a little 5-inch or 6-inch coil. So, and then the 4-inch concentric I have, it will pass with this Land Ranger on it. It's just the ID's a little messed up. It's like 10 to 15 off actually on this one. So something that doesn't suffer from that is the Lone Star Pro. Incompatible coil, it's not supposed to work with either one of those, but it does work actually a little better with the Lone Star Pro than with the Land Ranger. So kind of weird, but like I said, take that with a grain of salt as well, because it's not even a coil that goes for it. It's for the older muffler on a stick style Bounty Hunters, the big circle faced ones. You know what I'm talking about, the big heavy ones. So alright guys, so there it is. Let's wrap this indoor session up. Enough babbling. This video is gonna go on forever here. So does not pass Monty's nail board test. I'm not even gonna go over to the, no, let's do it just for the camera. What if it passes, what the hell? So we'll go over to number 2. I want to say you're supposed to remove these other nails. Maybe not. If you're supposed to leave them on there, I know it's not gonna work, so let's move those out of the way. Let's see if we get anything here on this one. No. Nothing on 1. Let's try 3. Well, okay, right there. Look at that. There it is. So it was showing up 60. We want mid 60s, so 61, 60. I probably dig that right there. It's so solid, such a zinc. I'd probably think like, maybe that's a ring or something. Who knows? So, all right, tried another way here. No, it doesn't like the long way. It does not like the length of the nail. Even if I bring it up close. If I go close, it's just doing the overload alarm. Sorry about that. Alright, so it likes it straight 90-degree angle to it this way. It can be tolerable, perhaps. But we're going to go ahead and call Monty's nail board test a no-go. So, real quick, let's check out the recovery speed here of it. So, I'm not going to do it with Monty's thing here. I like to just think of that as an unmasking test. So, we're just going to throw a few of the coins down here. We'll throw down the 2 silvers and a nickel here. And we'll space them out about the size of the coil and see what happens. Sorry for the awesome camera work, the shaky work here. It doesn't like that nickel. I think I have it, yeah, because I have it up past nickel. Duh. Duh, Hunter GT, duh. There we go. Pretty good. Really likes those 3, the high conductors. Not so much the kind of misses on that one. Yep. Let's try it in mode 2 real quick. Here we are in mode 2, so it should be all VCO. And it's picking up other stuff, I think. Nope, just too close, sorry. Too close to the concrete, and or to the coin, and it starts to overload and get funky. Really likes the 3 on the end. The 2 silvers and the quarter, clad quarter. Doesn't like that dime, or the nickel at all. That's pretty quick though on these other 3. I mean, listen to that. Alright guys, so there's the recovery speed, pretty damn good on that. So air tests, really good, pretty impressed with that. I mean, for 280 bucks, what detector's hitting coins at a foot like that? Not many out there, not many out there. So let's take it out back and go fart around a little bit out there and see what sort of depth we get in this crazy Colorado soil. I'm expecting our air test numbers to be cut almost in half. Every other detector has almost been cut in half. So I'll be impressed with this if it holds a good ID to 6 inches, to be honest, and I'll be impressed if it even hits the quarter at 8 inches out here in my dirt. So my dirt is crazy. There's salt mine up the road, you know, 50 miles away. There's a copper mine, there's a gold mine, there's a silver mine. It's bonkers. So alright guys, there it is, the air test, the recovery speed, Monty's nail board. So not the best unmasker with this big coil, obviously. Recovery speed does not suffer with the big coil. It is pretty damn good. So it is beeping right along from target to target. So pretty happy with the air test numbers on the yardstick and the recovery speed. Not so great on the unmasking. So we're 2 for 3 as far as the indoor testing goes. But, you know, like I said, big coil, not going to unmask a coin in the middle of 4 nails like that. Just not going to happen. So, all right, guys, let's get outside and go have some fun. Alright guys, here we are to the outdoor portion. Excuse the high wind noise and the guy with the horn. You hear the trumpet. Somebody across the street's playing a bunch of taps and trumpet stuff. The beginning to the horse races, all that good stuff. I don't know what that one's called, but alright, well here we go. 4-inch dime. I'm going to show you how to ground balance it first of all. So you can, in all metal mode, so let's go to all metal. You can do this in disc 2, 3, or 4 with the ground grab as well, but I'm going to show you how to manually adjust the ground balance as well on top of that. So what we're going to do, we're going to take it about 6 inches up, we're going to press the ground grab button and pump the coil until along the top all you get is 1 bar and your number stable. So my number is stable at 69 to 70. I'm going to let off. And now I'm ground balanced, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press down when I'm in all metal mode here. Sensitivity, volume, ground. So now I'm on ground, and notice it's at 70. And you'll notice those gray bars along the top. That means it's becoming out of phase a little bit, but nothing to worry about. I pumped the coil plenty. I'm at 6970. We're good to go. But if I want to go negative or positive to play around with it a little bit, you just sit here basically and hold it down, and see now I'm going up, and now when I press down, it's going to go down. Now there's 1,000 different presses you can make. So if I press it 10 times, let's go to 64 here, and then I'll show you. So all right, I'm at 64. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm at 65. So it takes 10 presses to go up 1 number, and the numbers go up from 99 all the way down to, I want to say 00, or maybe 01. Let's see. So all the way down to 00, which is like salt, basically, for beach or something. I have no idea how this handles on the beach. It has a better chance than most other single frequency detectors just for the fact that it has ground balance. However, it may still be super chattery. I don't know. I don't have a salt beach anywhere near me in Colorado. So, excuse me for the shaky camera. I'm freezing. The wind's picking up, and it's actually quite chilly this evening. So, all right. So let's go. That's how you ground balance it manually. And see, now I'm at 00. If I just want to quick grab it, I can take it about 6 inches up, hit ground grab, and now pump the coil. And see, it adjusted over again, back to 69, 70, and then we'll let off, and let's see what it's at now. Yep, 69. Okay? So that's how you ground balance it. So let's go back to disc 4. And you can ground grab it in disc 2, 3, 4 as well. All right. So we're in disc 4 now. And if you want to get a temporary all metal mode, we're going to hit mode right here. Don't hit it, like tap it. You got to hold it down. So hold it down. You'll notice right above the battery symbol now, all metal. Okay. So now if I go over a target, it gives me VCO tone for all metal. Okay. So we are in disc 4. Here we have, I want to say, is a 4-inch, 4-inch mercury dime. Let's see what we get. Hold on, I'm hitting that piece of grass there. Let's go sideways here. 6, 7, 8, up into the 70s. But for the most part, you can see high 60s, low 70s. It starts to jump around. I want to say this is about 4 or 5 inches is what I marked off. 4.5, 4 roughly. Let's pinpoint it and see. So let's pinpoint it. You hit the pinpoint button away from the target first. So hold it down. Let's go over the target. You're looking for the lowest number. Not too much of a fan of it. So there it it is 6 inches. So, you know what? Maybe I started off at 6 inches. I could be mistaken. I thought I buried it at 4, but I'll have to dig it up here. It might be at 6 inches. So, alright. I have a terrible memory. So, there it is. Yeah, it's got to be at 6 the way it's jumping around like that. So, it is a little jumpy at 6 inches in on this. Yeah, it's definitely at 6. So we got a 5 there, so no 4. So alright, so that's the dime at 6 inches. Let's go around different angles here. Alright, so that's with the sensitivity at 7. Let's go ahead and bump it up to 10 and see if we get a better reading. Still a little jumpy. There it goes. So high 60s, low 70s, but still a little jumpy on a smaller object like a diamond. And as you can see on the depth meter, it is 4 bars, and I'm right above the soil. I'm basically scraping the coil almost. So, all right, and let's pinpoint again. Start over here. There's a 4, so maybe I did put it at 4. Alright. So I'm not really a fan of the pinpoint. I prefer just to use the middle of the coil instead, or the tip of the coil. There we go, so 4 inches. It is a 4-inch dime. Alright, so this is in mode 4, 10-inch or 10 sensitivity. So a little jumpy on a silver dime. There we go, look at that, that was nice. 64, 65, that's what we want to see. But I want to show you why it's jumpy, and why it may or may not be jumpy in your soil. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go to all metal mode, and I want you guys to listen to my soil here in Colorado. Let me turn that up, in case you can't hear that. And it's not because of my sensitivity. Watch, I'll go sensitivity down to 6. So as you can tell, there is just stuff everywhere, and it's all iron. It's all ringing up 6, most of it, 6, 7, 8, 10, and under. There's an 18, a couple 49s here and there. There's a 9, 17, so all of them definitely 20 and under, except for that 149. But listen to that iron in here, guys. I mean, it is just everywhere here in Colorado. So I bumped it down. If I bump up the sensitivity 8, I mean, it's even more. And it's not EMI or anything like that. It's literally just junk everywhere. So Colorado soil, you know, if you live somewhere where it's just basically not very mineralized, you're going to do very well here. You're going to probably get a good inch or 2 compared to me on these tests. Now, you need to be going off tone anyways, not off, you know, the ID. IDs on these machines, even the top dollar ones, are not perfect at all. Use your ears, use your eyes, both. So you're doing yourself a disservice if you are not using your eyes and ears, okay? So now we got it in coin mode. Let's bump it back up. It's ground balance at 82 in the C, A, and J mode, coin, jewelry, and artifact. It is ground balance at 82, so let's go over it again. So it's not really doing that great on this dime, to be honest. It's hitting, when it does hit it, look at that, 65 right there, 62. So I mean, it's hitting right in the dime range. There we go, look at that. So right there, super solid, look at that, 64, 65. So you're definitely digging that, no problem. But as you move around it, and it may have shifted when I covered it up, it may be on its side for all I know. That's pretty good. So, you know, I'm definitely digging that at 4 or 5 inches. Let's pinpoint it again. And pinpoint, you know, I've noticed is not perfect right there. Alright, so we're good at 4. So I definitely buried this one at 4. Alright, so let's move on. Let's put the quarter at 4 inches and see what we get there. I don't want to make this too long. I'll try to hustle the rest of them up here. Alright, so let's move on to the quarter. Alright, here is the quarter at exactly 4 to 4.5 inches. So it's kind of hard once you start dumping soil on it and put a little pat down. So measured it right at 4. So, alright, let's see what we get here. And it should ring up, I know right underneath the coil, this quarter rings up at 79 to 80 to 81, like 2 inches away. It bounces from 79, 80, 81, alright? So lots of 79, 78, lots of high 70s, low 80s, there's the 81, 82, 80. So a little bouncy still, even at 4 inches it's bouncy, but you're definitely digging that. You're definitely going to think, hey, that's a quarter, it's high 70s, almost every angle. There's some 80s there. Alright. Once again, I apologize for the wind noise, guys. Sorry if it's coming in. Alright, so a little bouncy still, but not bad. So that's the 4-inch quarter. Let's go on now. And, oh, and look, let's turn it back on here. That was in coin mode as well. So, I got 1 bar missing on the battery, so that's what it looks like when you're missing a bar. So it'll miss a bar there, and then you have 2 left. Once the second bar disappears, it's time to replace the battery. You should replace it at that point. Okay, so let's go to a different mode real quick before we move on. Let's go to all metal. See what sort of reading we get from that, because not many machines in all metal give you an ID like this one does. So pretty cool feature. Let's try it. Let's ground balance it. There we go. We got a 73 that time. So a little jumpy on the ID, even in ground balance. There it goes. That was pretty nice. High 70s there. Well, I think anybody's going to dig that, that's for sure. So let's move on to 6 inches on the dime and the quarter. Alright guys, we are in coin mode still, and quarter at 6 inches, and the dime is over here at 6 inches. So let's see what we get. Are we getting a high tone still? Expect jumpy numbers in my soil. You heard the iron in all metals, so probably going to get stuff all over the place here. I'm not expecting good numbers. But still in the high range for most of it. A little beep there. Still bouncing around. There's some high 70s though. A lot of 25-cent movement down to 10. So at 6 inches you start to lose your ID quite a bit here. But if you listen with your ears, getting almost all high tones. So, I mean, a little beep here and there. Alright, so up to you if you think you dig that or not at 6 inches. Like I said, if you live somewhere where your soil is not even close to this, then you are probably going to... I notice it likes the wider swings too. It likes fast swings. This sort of stuff right here doesn't really care for that. It likes really, this machine's recovery speed's real nice, so it does really like fast swings. So that's a 77, 68, oh, bumping the coil there, sorry. I might have, you know, a couple targets there, who knows. It's so chattery. Yep, so there you go, guys. Not great at 6 inches ID-wise, but tone-wise, absolutely. So let's try the dime here. It's right to the left of this rock. I'm gonna walk a 360. I got 2 targets. I got some over here almost as well. Let's pinpoint. There's 6 inches, so you know it's 6 inches right there. And when you're pinpointing, see the little dot right in the middle of the coil there, center of the screen? That little circle in the middle of the coil on the middle rail there, going up and down, that is your pinpoint marker. So I've heard anyways. So it seems to match up to my experience on what I've seen with the machine too. So there we go, 6 inches, just like what it says. So not great on the mercury dime. Like I said though, guys, when we were inside and this dime was hitting, you know, 9.5, 10 inches on the air test, take the air test with a grain of salt. Eastern Colorado is going to kill your machine. I don't care what machine you have. It is just chattery crazy out here. I mean, obviously, the higher end machines that deal with iron better, yeah, you're going to do better with your $1,000 and your $700 machines. But if you bring out anything in the 300, 350 range, good luck out here. So, but for 280, I gotta be honest, I'm still super impressed and still super happy. Now you're gonna say, why Hunter GT? Geez, this thing can barely hit a 6-inch dime, and even on the quarter, it's getting real wavy. Well, number one, you saw my iron content in the ground here. It is just crazy in eastern Colorado. There's a salt mine, a copper mine, a gold mine, you name the metal, they mine it out here. So even out in the eastern plains, there's a ton of just crazy pits that they dig out here. It's nuts. It's nuts. So anyways, yeah, super mineralized stuff. Used to be a bottom of an ocean right here. If you check out some of my older videos, you'll see, you know, fossils and stuff that I was messing around with. So yeah, crazy soil. If you're living somewhere where your soil is not so harsh, and you know, I mean, I don't know where that is. I'm not a soil expert, but as a metal detector, I do know that certain people get lucky. Their machine will hit, you know, you'll get a guy with a machine that says, oh, mine will hit a dime at 8 inches, no problem, solid ID. And then the guy 5-6 states over is going to say, oh, well, geez, I sent mine back, or I sold mine because it would barely work at 4.5, 5 inches. Well, in most cases, it's not because one machine was hotter than the other or anything like that. It was either a ground balance issue, user error, or soil, basically. And soil could even be raised up in the first place in many cases. So, I mean, a lot of nasty clays and minerals that will just make your detector become unfriendly. But for 280, there's nothing out here that has ground balance, all metal. You know, you're definitely going to dig these 2 targets. I would, just from the tones alone. At that point, I just pretend I have a Tesoro or an analog machine, and I dig by the tone only. That's what I'm saying. I'm not concerned with the ID at 6 inches really starting to jump around like this. At 4, it's real good on the quarter. At 6, it's pretty good on the quarter. The dime, not so much, but that's okay. I'm probably going to dig every signal that I hear like that with a high tone that I can pinpoint to 6 inches or so. And, you know, to be honest, most cases it's going to be either trash or treasure, just like every other signal. I mean, how many times have you locked in on a pull tab and you thought, oh, that's definitely a nickel? How many times have you locked in a nickel? Oh, that's definitely a nickel. And here comes a pull tab, and vice versa. Or perfect quarter. Oh, here comes an S cap, you know, a screw cap. Oh, perfect dime. Well, it turns out to be a piece of copper pipe or whatever. So, you know, I don't really take the numbers. They're not religion for me, you know. Use your ears, use your eyes and your ears. If it's a shallower target and it's locking on good, hey, dig that sucker 100% of the time. If it's bouncing all over to aluminum, iron, high, low, like every other beep, it's probably trash. If it hovers and sits way up here in the coin range, in the silver range, and hovers by 10, 20 or whatever, but only jumps down here once or twice every 8 or so swings, you know you're probably going to want to dig that target. So you're dealing with percentages at that point. So pretty happy with it at 6 inches. I'm not going to do an ID test at 8, but let's go ahead and pop the quarter down to 8, and maybe we'll run over to all metal mode and check it out and see what sort of numbers we get there. So one more time, we'll do it here in mode 2. We'll ground balance it real quick on the 6-inch quarter. All right. So with that, you're not going to dig it in, you know, it's all VCO. You're going to go by the numbers and see it jumping, even though that one's quite, look at it, most of it's in 25 cent. It goes down to zinc here and there. But, you know, go over to your coin mode, or even set up disc 4. Once you get familiar with it, start setting up disc 4. That's going to be your favorite mode, disc 4 by far. But I really want to get comfortable with the machine and just the manual modes and stuff like that. And you should too if you're a first-time buyer of this machine, or an early metal detector. You know, I've only been doing this about a year, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. But to get to the point, in coin mode, listen to how many times it's going to be a nice high target. Hear that? So, I mean, it's hitting 25 cents almost 90% of the time. I mean, if you had a Tesoro right now, you would dig that. If you had some analog machine that you swear by, you're going to dig that. Okay? Let's go back to the dime. Make sure my sensitivity, yeah. So even right there, jumping numbers, pinpoint it. Let's go off it and then pinpoint it. So there's 6 inches. You know it's not a can because as soon as you move over, you know, it's not staying, a can's going to be a real wide sweep, you know, the angle of the can. And so, yeah, I think I dig that target for most of the sweeps. I think if I go over it and I see it bouncing around high like that, I just got to think to myself after a pinpoint, okay, I dig a lot of iffy signals, so take that with a grain of salt. But there's the 6-inch dime. It's probably going to be a maybe for most people, or even a no. The quarter, I'm absolutely digging that. So even with some of the chirps here and there. So let's bust it down to 8 inches and see if we still get these high tones. And I think that will be a wrap, guys. All right, so let's do 8 inches. All right, guys, here we go at 8 inches on the quarter in coin mode, max out sensitivity. Well, that's a good angle. If you approach it at that angle, why not? It's actually hitting way high, like dollar sign. Half dollar, dollar most of the time. Definitely dig that, right? But from most angles, nothing. Let's get that swing speed up the way it likes. And you start to hear a lot more high tones, right? Hear that? Now look as I circle it. Still some chatter from this angle over here, I notice. This thing really likes high swings, I notice. See? Slow. So some angles you're going to dig it at 8, others you're going to walk on by. So 8 inches I'd say is the theoretical limit on sound. 6 inches is your theoretical limit on ID here in eastern Colorado. Other places you may be able to increase that by a full inch, 2 inches, I would assume. So my dirt here is about as bad as it gets, to be honest, guys, here in the Rocky Mountains. So, all right. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to call it a wrap. This thing's probably pushing close to a half hour, 45 minutes again. Sorry for a two-parter, but the Land Ranger Pro, it has a ton of features. It is actually quite a nice detector for $280. I think tone-wise, it kills the bell tone of the Ace series. And the guy across the street from me has an Ace series that a friend let him use, and they could not even find a property marker with it. This thing hit it no problem. So didn't get that on video or anything, but this will hit that property marker no problem. I will tell you, on bigger items, you know, this thing will hit stuff like frying pans and stuff at like 2.5 feet. So I'm not going to test that out. Can't dig that far here. Take me a half hour. Not about to sweat and go crazy. But there it is, guys. The Bounty Hunter Land Ranger Pro. Hope you enjoyed the video. 8 inches on sound on a quarter. 6 inches ID on a quarter. Anything beyond that, you're asking for trouble. And I really like this detector. I think it's a great detector for $280. I've even seen it down to $230. If you ever see it down that low, grab it. $280, $300. I think it's one of the best buys for that price range in the world. On nobody makes a $300 detector, $280 detector that ground balances, has all metal, will hit a quarter at 8 inches on sound, and I mean nobody. I mean, not that I can think of, that has the disc, the V-brake, the notch setting, the fine tuning of the ground balance, the way it has 1,000 different presses, the pinpoint feature, the quick mode button to hit up all metal, the quick ground grab and manual ground balance. I mean, it's just loaded with features, guys. It's basically a Technetics Euro Pro, I want to say it is. God, my friends are going to kill me if I get that wrong, right? I want to say it's pretty similar to the Technetics Euro Pro. It runs off the Frat Brothers process, just like the F5, the F11, the F22, the F44, even the F19 coils are compatible with this. So it's quite a good detector. If you can get the coil compatibility, you know, the screw on to push in connector, build your own or buy it from somebody, then you are opening yourself up to a whole bunch. And if you want to spend money on like a nail coil for, you know, $125, you're gonna make your ID go up from what a lot of people are saying on a lot of these treasure forums and metal detecting forums, a full inch or so on your ID and another 2 inches or so on your depth. So keep in mind, if you can get that connector or make your own to the screw-on type, you open yourself up to a world of coils that just, I mean, open this machine up. So I like it. I love it. It's going to be my main machine here for a while. I'm going to get my wife a machine here, a couple weeks maybe, something like that. And of course, I'll do a review of that as well. And keep an eye out for the Bounty Hunter Junior review as well. So soft minerals, easy mineral dirt, pick this up, you'll have a lot of fun. Higher dirt or higher mineralized dirt, crazy minerals, and make your detector go nuts on all metal like mine. It may give you a headache, it may not. I personally, I can deal with it. I've had a chatty Scorpion, Garrett Scorpion gold detector, so I can deal with the chattiness, and I can deal with the depth and the ID that it has. The 6 inches on the ID and the 8 inches on the depth, perfect for me, because when you dig this dirt out here, it is just crazy hard. I mean, look at my dirt. This is my backyard, so the first inch or so, no problem, and then you just get into this crap that even your Samson wants to just, I mean, you can get in there, don't get me wrong, you can dig down to 6, 8 inches, but where's a coin gonna go over the life of it? I mean, like I said, both my silver fine, or my mercury dime, 2 inches, both of my tax tokens, 2 to 3 inches from the 30s, so finding stuff from the 30s and 40s out here at 2 to 3 inches. If you live in a place where coins sink to 18 inches, buy a different detector, obviously. All right, guys, enough babbling. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care. I will see you on the next video.